What is project management? Project management is the process of planning, organizing, and managing resources to achieve a specific goal. It involves a variety of tasks, such as defining the project scope, creating a timeline and budget, and coordinating the work of team members. Project managers use a variety of tools and techniques to track progress, identify and mitigate risks, and ensure that the project stays on track. Here is a more comprehensive explanation of project management. Project management is a process. It is not a one-time event, but rather a series of steps that are taken to complete a project. Project management is about people. It is not just about tasks and deadlines, but also about the people who are working on the project. Project managers need to be able to motivate and inspire their team members, and they need to be able to resolve conflicts. Project management is about change. Projects are often complex and unpredictable, and project managers need to be able to adapt to change. They need to be flexible and willing to make adjustments as needed. Project management is a complex and challenging field, but it is also a rewarding one. Project managers play a vital role in the success of businesses and organizations of all sizes. Here are some of the benefits of project management. Increased efficiency and productivity. Project management can help to improve efficiency and productivity by streamlining processes, eliminating waste, and ensuring that resources are used in the most effective way possible. Improved communication and collaboration. Project management can help to improve communication and collaboration between team members, stakeholders, and other individuals involved in the project. This can lead to better decision-making, increased creativity, and a more successful outcome. Reduced risk. Project management can help to reduce risk by identifying and mitigating potential problems early on. This can save time, money, and resources. Improved customer satisfaction. Project management can help to improve customer satisfaction by ensuring that projects are completed on time, within budget, and to the agreed upon specifications. If you are interested in a career in project management, there are a number of things you can do to prepare. First, you should gain experience in a variety of fields, such as business, engineering, or IT. This will give you a broad understanding of the different types of projects that are managed. Second, you should develop your skills in communication, problem solving, and leadership. These are essential skills for any project manager. What does project management entail? Project management entails a wide range of activities, including planning. This involves defining the project scope, creating a timeline and budget, and identifying the resources that will be needed. Organizing. This involves assembling the team, assigning tasks, and creating a communication plan. Executing. This involves carrying out the tasks that have been assigned, monitoring progress, and making adjustments as needed. Monitoring. This involves tracking progress against the plan, identifying and mitigating risks, and resolving issues. Closing. This involves completing all tasks, delivering the final product or service, and evaluating the project's success. Project managers must have a wide range of skills in order to be successful, including communication. Project managers must be able to communicate effectively with a variety of stakeholders, including team members, clients, and managers. Problem solving. Project managers must be able to identify and solve problems quickly and effectively. Leadership. Project managers must be able to motivate and inspire their team members to achieve the project's goals. Decision making. Project managers must be able to make sound decisions under pressure. Risk management. Project managers must be able to identify and mitigate risks to the project. Change management. Project managers must be able to adapt to change and keep the project on track. Project management is a complex and challenging field, but it is also a rewarding one. Project managers play a vital role in the success of businesses and organizations of all sizes. What are the three constraints of project management? The three constraints of project management are time, scope, and cost. These are often referred to as the triple constraints or the project management triangle. Time. The time constraint refers to the project's schedule for completion, including the deadlines for each phase of the project, as well as the date for rollout of the final deliverable. Scope. The scope of a project defines its specific goals, deliverables, features, and functions, in addition to the tasks required to complete the project. Cost. The cost of the project, often dubbed the project's budget, comprises all of the financial resources needed to complete the project on time, in its predetermined scope. These three constraints are interrelated and it is not possible to optimize all three at the same time. For example, if the project manager wants to shorten the schedule, they may need to increase the budget or reduce the scope. Similarly, if the project manager wants to increase the scope, they may need to increase the budget or extend the schedule. The project manager's role is to balance these three constraints and find the best possible solution for the project. This involves careful planning, communication, and collaboration with all stakeholders. Here are some tips for managing the three constraints of project management. Set realistic expectations. At the outset of the project, it is important to set realistic expectations for time, scope, and cost. This can be done by working with stakeholders to define the project's goals and objectives. Create a detailed plan. Once the project's goals and objectives have been defined, it is important to create a detailed plan. This plan should include a timeline, budget, and list of tasks. Track progress. It is important to track progress against the plan on a regular basis. This will help to identify any potential problems early on and allow the project manager to make adjustments as needed. Communicate with stakeholders. It is important to communicate with stakeholders on a regular basis. This will help to keep them informed of the project's progress and ensure that they are on board with any changes that need to be made. Be flexible. It is important to be flexible and willing to make changes to the plan as needed. This is especially important in the face of unexpected events or challenges. By following these tips, project managers can improve their chances of successfully managing the three constraints of project management. What is a project? A project is a temporary endeavor with a clear goal and a defined scope that is usually undertaken to achieve a unique product, service, or result. Projects are typically undertaken by a team of people, and they often involve a significant amount of planning, execution, and coordination. Here are some of the key characteristics of a project. Temporary. Projects have a definite start and end date. They are not ongoing activities, but rather one-time efforts to achieve a specific goal. Goal-oriented. Projects are undertaken to achieve a specific goal. This goal should be clearly defined and measurable. Unique. Projects typically produce something new or different. They are not simply the repetition of existing activities. Planned. Projects are typically planned in advance. This planning process should identify the project's goals, scope, timeline, budget, and resources. Coordinated. Projects typically involve a team of people. These people need to be coordinated in order to achieve the project's goals. Projects can be found in a wide variety of industries and organizations. Some common examples of projects include construction projects, such as building a new house or office building. Software development projects, such as developing a new software application. Research projects, such as conducting a scientific study. Marketing projects, such as launching a new product or service. Event planning projects, such as organizing a conference or concert. Projects can be complex and challenging, but they can also be rewarding. By understanding the key characteristics of projects, you can better prepare for and manage them. Here are some additional tips for managing projects. Set clear goals and objectives. What do you want to achieve with your project? What are the specific deliverables that you need to produce? Create a project plan. This will help you to track your progress and identify any potential problems. Communicate effectively with your team. Keep everyone updated on the project's progress and make sure that everyone is on the same page. Be flexible. Things don't always go according to plan, so be prepared to adapt your project plan as needed. Celebrate successes. It's important to recognize the hard work of your team and celebrate their accomplishments. 3 constraints of project management. The 3 constraints of project management are time, scope, and cost. These are also known as the triple constraints or the project management triangle. Time. The time constraint refers to the project's schedule for completion, including the deadlines for each phase of the project, as well as the date for rollout of the final deliverable. Scope. The scope of a project defines its specific goals, deliverables, features, and functions, in addition to the tasks required to complete the project. Cost. The cost of the project, often dubbed the project's budget, comprises all of the financial resources needed to complete the project on time, in its predetermined scope. These 3 constraints are interrelated and any change to one will affect the others. For example, if the project manager decides to shorten the project schedule, they may need to increase the budget or reduce the scope of the project. Conversely, if the project manager decides to increase the scope of the project, they may need to extend the project schedule or increase the budget. The project manager's goal is to balance these 3 constraints in order to deliver the project on time, within budget, and to the agreed upon scope. This can be a challenging task, but it is essential for ensuring the success of the project. Here are some tips for managing the triple constraints. Set clear goals and expectations. The first step is to clearly define the goals and expectations of the project. This includes understanding the needs of the stakeholders and what they are expecting from the project. Create a realistic schedule and budget. Once the goals and expectations are clear, the project manager can begin to create a realistic schedule and budget. This should be based on the amount of work that needs to be done, the resources that are available, and the time constraints. Communicate with stakeholders. It is important to keep stakeholders updated on the progress of the project and any changes to the schedule or budget. This will help to manage expectations and avoid any surprises. Be flexible and adaptable. Things don't always go according to plan, so it is important to be flexible and adaptable. The project manager should be prepared to make changes to the schedule or budget if necessary. By following these tips, project managers can effectively manage the triple constraints and deliver successful projects. What is the result of time, cost, scope? The result of time, cost, and scope is the success of a project. These 3 factors are often competing constraints, meaning that if one changes, then another must also change in order to maintain the project's success. For example, if the project scope is increased, then the project time and cost will also likely increase. This is because a larger scope will require more work, which will take more time and money. Similarly, if the project time is decreased, then the project scope or cost will likely increase. This is because less time will be available to complete the project, which will require either a smaller scope or a higher cost. Finally, if the project cost is decreased, then the project scope or time will likely increase. This is because a lower budget will limit the amount of work that can be done, which will require either a smaller scope or a longer time to complete. As a project manager, it is important to balance these three factors in order to ensure the success of the project. This can be done by carefully planning the project and making trade-offs between the three factors as needed. Here are some tips for balancing time, cost, and scope. Set realistic expectations. It is important to set realistic expectations for the project in terms of time, cost, and scope. If the expectations are too high, then the project is likely to fail. Create a detailed plan. Once the expectations have been set, it is important to create a detailed plan for the project. This plan should include a timeline, budget, and scope of work. Be flexible. It is important to be flexible when managing a project. Things don't always go according to plan, so it is important to be able to make changes as needed. Communicate effectively. It is important to communicate effectively with all stakeholders throughout the project. This will help to ensure that everyone is on the same page and that any potential problems are identified and addressed early on. By following these tips, project managers can help to ensure the success of their projects by balancing time, cost, and scope.